Hi, I'm Heidi Herriott. Welcome to HorseTrix. HorseTrix is a step-by-step trick horse training program that will allow you to train your own horse to do some fun tricks. Well, I'm happy to have you here. Let's get started. Hello, today on HorseTrix we're going to be talking about a scenario where more than one person in a family uses the same horse. We also want to make sure kids get off to a great start. The trick we'll be training this week is the pickup with the mouth. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. I love performing with my horses, but my work isn't always glamorous. And when I do chores, I love my custom engraved Fireborn gloves. You're watching Heidi Herriott Presents HorseTrix. Well, as always, we want to make sure we start with the basics. So today, our first session, we're actually going to start by round penning a horse. And here today to help me out, I have Ashley, and this is Starlight. And in a little while, Ashley's daughter is going to be joining us as well, because as I mentioned, this is a scenario where more than one person is working with the same horse. So let's remember the basics. I want to review a little bit. First of all, always remember, somebody's right on board with us there. Always remember your principles of training when you're working with your horses. You want to give those a review before you step into the training ring. It will really help you. So that's safety first. We always want to make sure we're working in a safe environment. Capability, we want to make sure we're doing something the horse is capable of. Consistency and clarity. We want to be very clear and consistent about how we're working with our animals. Patience, bring your patience to the training ring always. Reward, we're definitely going to reward the horse, but we want to do that more by good boy, good girl, physical and verbal praise, and then we can use our treats intermittently. Discipline, if the horse does something unwanted, we need to make sure they know that that's an unwanted behavior with our voice saying no or quit, something along those lines. And you can use your tools as well. Again, though, discipline never under any circumstances means anything abusive. So always keep that in mind. And lastly is progress. We want to make sure we keep progressing and setting the bar higher and moving forward. So those are the principles of training. Now, phase 1 and phase 2 training are the foundation and the fundamentals for everything we're going to be doing with our horses. So remember, that's leading, tying, bathing, grooming, tacking, phase 1. Phase 2 is actually starts with round penning, lunging, backing up, pivot on the forehand and haunches, those types of things. So what I'm going to ask you to do today, Ashley, is go ahead and start round penning Starlight. And we've been standing here a little while. She seems to be a very, very docile horse, and that's probably a good fit for you. Yes. And I know you've got some issues where you had a back problem from an accident, so you're very cautious about that. So that's good. What we want to make sure is you're not too tentative, that the horse decides they can start to be in charge. Right. So let's get you round penning and see what it looks like. I'm going to step out on the side and we'll have you get going here. Now what I like about what you're doing, Ashley, is you're driving her. You're actually staying behind the drive line nicely. But you could stay just a little bit more towards make your circle just a shade smaller. I usually say a 5-foot circle, that's perfect. Now she's more of a lazy horse, which is actually okay, but what you want to do is not move your whip quite so much. When you move your whip, you want to mean it. Okay, go ahead, snap your whip and tell her hup. Use your voice. Instead of clucking all the time, once in a while talk to her. Say hup. Good. If you asked her to trot and she stops trotting, make her trot again. Once she's still trotting, just let your whip, hold your whip up a little bit and just follow her. Just like that. There you go. Now if you need it, use it. That way she doesn't become desensitized to the whip. So that's important. Now go ahead and make her canter. One big swish with the whip, tell her to go, and then follow her until she stops. Get her going right now. When you ask her, make her go right at that moment. Good. Now just follow her with your whip. Don't keep flicking it. Good. And have more of an aggressive body language. Drop that left arm. Good. And kind of walk into her like you mean it. Now get her going again. Good. Hop. Good. Now stay right behind her. Keep your whip right behind her butt. Up higher. Don't keep swinging it. Just like that. Good. Right behind her butt. Keep it right at her. There you go. Good. Make her canter. Good. See, now she's throwing her head a little saying, I don't know about this. Hop. Go right at her. Right at her. Get in there, Ashley. Be more aggressive. Good. Good. Hop. Good. Snap your whip. Good. Now just let it, again, keep your whip, point it right at her. Good. Okay, now go ahead and call her to you. See if she'll come into you. Do you talk to her at this point or just it's a quiet thing? Okay.
It's usually when I drop the whip.
Good. Let her come into you. Good. All right. Okay, so Ashley, what we need to do is, she's doing fine for you, but she's not quite listening to what you're telling her. And you're getting along okay with her, but that could end up being problematic as we move forward. What I want to do first now is have your daughter come in, Zoe, and round pen her as well and see what we have going with her. And then we'll talk more about what we can do to get her to be a little bit more aggressive. And it's great to have a lazy horse, but it's not great if they're not paying attention. Okay, so we'll be right back. We'll bring Zoe in and have her round pen. I love to get questions from viewers, and our next question ties in nicely with today's show. Sandy in Idaho wrote, I have a miniature horse that I work with and get along fine with. When my daughter, my 12-year-old daughter, works with him, he actually starts biting and kicking and gets fairly aggressive. Well, that's not an uncommon problem, Sandy, and actually what you need to do is make sure that your daughter spends a lot of time on the basics with the horse, making sure he understands that she's in charge. He's being very aggressive towards her, but not towards you. So we need to make sure that she spends equal time on the basics. She needs to do phase 1 and phase 2, leading, tying, grooming, bathing, all of those types of things. And she needs to make sure that she gets his attention and that she stays in charge. And then you can both have a great interaction with your horse. You can always email me your horse-related questions to Heidi@HorseTrix.com. Okay, so as I said, we're going to have Zoe now in the round pen. Zoe is Ashley's 14-year-old daughter. And Zoe told me earlier the reason the whole family got into horses is because Zoe likes horses. And that happens quite a bit. So Starlight used to be more of Zoe's horse, and now Zoe has another horse she works as well. So Zoe has a little bit more of an aggressive stance and approach with the horse. The horse is paying a little bit more attention. And again, this is not an uncommon thing where you share a horse in a family. My daughter and I actually only have one big horse, one saddle horse. And so you have a scenario where you need to make sure the horse really is responsive to everybody. And if you have a good foundation on the horse and you approach it right, it shouldn't be a problem at all. What I really like about this little mare is she's not bothered by me sitting on the fence. She's not bothered that we put up a banner on the other side there. She just kind of goes by. So that's a really nice part of her personality that I'm liking. She's a little bit lazy. And what I could see with a horse like this is where when you ride her and she doesn't feel like moving along, she then would start to buck or shake her head or do some things that aren't great because she doesn't want to move, you know, in contrast to the horses that want to just take off on you. So what's interesting is, and good, Zoe's got her in a canter and she's insisting that she goes. Good. And the same thing, you just follow her with your whip till she stops because you don't want to overuse it. Even more, point right at her. No, don't use it, just point it at her. Point right at her. Good. Hop. Make her get up. Hop. Talk to her, Zoe. Don't be afraid to talk. Zoe's got a pretty nice little circle going. She drives the horse well as well. Both her and Ashley have a really good stance in driving the horse being in the right position. If this horse spun around and tried to go the other way, you're in the perfect position for her not to do that. What I want you to do is try to call her to you and send her the other direction. See if you can do that without dropping your whip. Have her come in and change your direction. Now what I'm not liking about the lineup here, what I call the lineup, is that the horse is kind of deciding when this is going to happen. So it's a very tentative body language in a submissive position for the person. We're begging her to come into us. Okay, right now you should send her back the other way. Make her go back the direction she was going. Aggressively. I'd get a little aggressive with her. There you go. Now call her to you. And kind of have more of a I mean it type of approach with it.
Starlight, come here.
Whoa. Back up, pull back, you back up, Zoe, back up. Drop your whip down and back up. Nope, okay. All right, so I'm gonna help you out here. Okay, now again, you guys both did it, here she comes. You did a really nice job of staying in the circle and not, people have a tendency to get way out by the horse or stand in the middle and try to do this. So you guys, both you and Ashley, have a really nice stance. So what I want to do at this point, Ashley, if you'll come on over here, if you guys will come up here on the fence so you can see, and I'm going to take a go at her. Now, I would guess that she's going to be not too excited about having me in here. Now again, she's a nice quiet horse, but I see a few little inklings where she doesn't quite get her way. She starts to throw her head a little bit. So what I'm going to do, now here's what I mean. See, she's already got more of a sprite about her because I'm approaching it with a very business-like attitude. This is what I mean by follow her. Don't keep doing this. I just want you to follow her like this. Point out, you're behind her and you're keeping her over. If she starts to come into you, you put your whip, see, I didn't have to move far. Put your whip right at her shoulder. That keeps them away from you. If she starts to come into you, you want to shush her over like that. Right now we're following her. Now I want her to canter. Hup, hup. I'd like you guys to use your voice a little bit more. Hup. Good. See, she's not even offering to stop and I'm not waving my whip one iota. I'm using my 5-foot circle. Hup. I got her attention. The ears are up. She's like, what the heck just happened here? See, I don't have to do much to get her to go, and that's what I'd like to see you guys be able to do with her. Again, a nice little lazy horse is great until they start calling the shots. Hup. Whoa, here. Ho. Here. Starlight, hup. Now I don't want her to stand there, I want her to come. Good, hup. Good, go on, hup. Whoa, ho. Ho, nope. Up. Good. Whoa. Ho. We could do that all day. Patience. Other training. Principle of training. Good girl. Come here. Come on. I know you're tired. Let's go. Come on. Licking her lips. I want that head looking at me. Come here, pretty girl. Ho. No. I got to at the very least be able to walk into her. Good. Nope. Nope. Whoa. Ho. Ho. Here. Good girl. Come on. Come on. I'm going to take a step back and give her a chance. Good girl. Ho. Good girl. That was very nice. That's exactly what I'm looking for right there. Don't drop my whip. I don't have to bend over. I don't have to hope that she comes. I said, I need you to come in here, and she said, okay. Well, again, Starlight's a nice little horse, but I wanted to make sure that both Zoe and her mom, Ashley, had the same result, the same interaction working with the horse to ensure a fun and safe interaction. It's very important. I also love that Zoe's 14 years old, and she's got an excellent start working with horses. She's got a good command and a good presence with the horse, and that's going to carry her a long way. All right, now stay tuned. We're going to train the pickup with the mouth. When I have a problem with my horses, I use the best, Shriners. And here's Zach Shriner.
That's right, Heidi. Shriners is the safest, most effective, most natural product you can buy. If you want the best for your horse, get Shriners. Naturally perfect, be confident, get Shriners.
Ride safe, be prepared, get Shriners. You're watching Heidi Herriott presents HorseTrix. So today we're going to be training the pickup with the mouth. This is a really fun trick you can do a lot with. And here to demonstrate, I have Lucky Star. Lucky Star is going to show you how this works. So I'm going to walk him over and say, get it? Get it. Good. And wave your handkerchief. Good. Wave it. Excellent. Well, that's what it looks like, the pickup with the mouth. Okay, now we're going to train the pickup with the mouth, and I've enlisted the help of Starlight to show you what it's going to look like when you try to do this. We just saw Lucky Star demonstrate the finished trick. So here's what you're going to need as far as your tools and tack. Of course, you're always going to need your halter. If you have your set of reins, that's great. For this, we're going to need a lead rope as well. I have my little dressage whip or riding crop. We have some kind of a stool or pedestal or tub that would sit right here to get our handkerchief up off the ground. Now, in the handkerchief, we actually have a little bit of feed or treats, whatever your horse really likes. You want to just tie into the handkerchief, and that's what we're going to be working with. Okay, so as far as location, you want to be in an area that's probably fenced off. A round pen, again, like we're in now, is ideal. A small paddock, even your arena. You can also train this in the center of the barn if you're in the middle of winter and you're still trying to have some fun with your horses. Okay. Now, as far as our positioning, I want to bring the horse right up here near the pedestal, and I'm going to be standing right about the position you'd be leading your horse so that I can actually hold on to their halter. Going to hold the lead rope out of the way. So what we're going to do now, I have the little handkerchief with grain. We need to hold this on the pedestal because they're going to nose it off with their nose. So you can use your little riding crop or you can use your foot, which I prefer. And I'm just going to ask them to put their head down and have Starlight here. See if she'll just go ahead and grab the handkerchief for me. Now you see that's why I'm holding it with my foot, because otherwise it's going to be right off of the pedestal. We're going to ask her, let's move it back a little bit. We're going to ask her to nose it and go ahead and pick it up. Good. She's going faster than I can. Good. So they're going to play with it. Good. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Up. Good girl. Now that was excellent, but I want to make sure that I get a release cue in so that what we're going to do when she picks it up, and it looks like they have a hold of it, we're going to say, hold it. And after they get going a little bit, you just want to say that 1 or 2 times. Hold it. Hold their head up. Hold it. And then you want to say, all right, and take it away from them before they drop it, ideally. That's our release cue. Okay, so we're going to try this again. I'm going to hold the handkerchief in place. We're going to let her get it. Good. Hold it. All right. Just like that. Very nice. So when we come back, I want to show you a few troubleshooting tips, things that might happen along the way, and also have the girls come in and work with their own horse and try this as well. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Heidi Herriott, and I'd like to introduce you to Fresh Fix. It's the best thing I've found to keep my stalls smelling fresh. A daily misting of Fresh Fix not only keeps my stalls odor-free, it actually eliminates the dangerous ammonia vapors that can be harmful to our horse's health. Since I know you care about your horses and pets as well, get Fresh Fix. Go online and check out the Heidi special. You're watching Heidi Herriott presents HorseTrix. Okay, so now we're back with Ashley and Zoe, and I want to make sure you guys can actually do the tricks with the horse, so I've had them come in here. So go ahead, Ashley, we're going to start. You're going to put your foot on the hanky. You're going to tell your horse to get it, and as soon as she gets it, pull their head down a little. Then as soon as she gets it, you'll say, hold it. Make sure she gets it. Good, pull her up.
Hold it.
And then all right.
All right.
Excellent. Now pet her and make her know that was excellent. Look, she wants more of that. All right, let's have Zoe try it quick. Switch places. So this is terrific because this is exactly the result we're looking for. And this horse is not a horse who necessarily likes to play with their mouth, from what I understand. So we're really pleased that she's doing this so nicely. So go ahead, tell her, get it. Good. Okay, go ahead and pull her head up. Whoops. Good. And be a little quicker with it, Zoe. As soon as she gets a good, mouth on it, go ahead and pull her head up. So tell her, get it. Good. Be a little more aggressive with your body language. There you go. Up. Hold it. And then all right. Excellent. Well, that's what that, now she doesn't want to let go of it, which is exactly what we want. So the way this works, once the trick is actually trained, this is something you can do 3 to 4 times a day. Again, make this part of your training routine like we talked about on a previous episode. So once you do this 3 or 4 times a day, the grain or your treat in here is going to dissolve. Once it's gone, it should pretty much be trained to the point where you could throw your handkerchief out on the ground and tell your horse, get it, walk them over, and they're going to pick it up. From there, we're going to do a lot of neat stuff with it. We're going to actually tie it on their leg. You're going to hold it by their leg, have them reach around and get it. That's how we untie handkerchiefs. They can pull off their saddle pad, all kinds of stuff. You can tie this around your whip. So the handkerchief is going to be their cue to get it, but then it'll be a lead rope or anything you want to do with it. So you can have a lot of fun with that. Now, if you have a horse who doesn't want to do it, who doesn't want to grab the handkerchief with the feed encased in here, you can actually just make a couple little slits in your handkerchief. Not very big, but just where a little bit of the crumbs fall out. And make sure they're not so much on the tub that the horse just wants to eat those. They'll pick this up and then they'll start to play with it to get the crumbs out of it. That'll help you training that. So that should work for you. Again, 3 to 4 times a day when you're doing it. You try it 3 or 4 times. If you can do that several times a week, you should have this trained at least within a month, and you can have a lot of fun with it. So that's the pickup with the mouth. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and Starlight, you were a great candidate. Our training tip for this week is using a release cue. Now, in past episodes, we've actually talked about creating a routine, which is very important. You want to use the anticipation of trick training in your favor. Also very important is using a release cue. Today we trained the pickup with the mouth, and you heard me explain at the end of the trick we need to say to the horse, okay, or all right, to let them know they can release the handkerchief, that the trick is done. This is going to become more important as we move on in our tricks, training the pedestal, the bow, and more, to use a release cue to let them know the trick is done and they can stop. It's up to you when that happens, so make sure you're using your release cue effectively. Okay, all right, use it firmly and loudly. It'll help you establish a good working relationship with your trick horse training. Coming up on the next episode of HorseTrix, we're going to be working with a horse who has one speed, fast. He takes the word rodeo seriously. The trick we'll be training is mounting the pedestal. All this and more on the next episode of HorseTrix. Well, I hope you had some fun today learning a new trick, the pickup with the mouth, and also making sure you have a great foundation on your horse for safe and fun interactions. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your horse training journey. And remember, happiness is horses!